Hi again, this is AZC2. Today I'm going to talk about the upcoming Singapore elections. As you know, there are 66 seats that could decide the fate of the nation. Whether we have a new government or whether we stick to the old rotten government, it hinges on 66 seats. Okay, why 66? Because those 66 seats are contested by four parties, namely the Workers' Party, the Singapore Democratic Party, Progress Singapore Party, and the People's Voice. Together, these four parties will make Singapore great again. But they can't do it alone. They have to work together. The Workers' Party is currently the only opposition party with a presence in Parliament. They have 6 elected MPs, 5 from Aljunied GRC, 1 from Hougang SMC. They are gunning for East Coast GRC, currently held by Lim Swee Say, who is making way for Deputy Prime Minister Heng Swee Keat. Mr. Heng signed a free trade agreement with India, which was greatly lopsided and benefited the Indians more than it benefited his own citizens. In a way, he has committed treason and he should be removed from power. Whoever that's up against him should bear this in mind. They are also aiming for Sengkang GRC, made up of the former seats of Punggol East and Sengkang West, where the Workers' Party had performed quite well in previous elections. Sengkang GRC is a new 4-member constituency. The Workers' Party is sending the daughter of Farid Khan, former presidential hopeful, Raisa. Raisa is touted as Singapore's version of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. If you've heard her speak in her introduction video, she sounds like she might well be a CNN host. She is really articulate, and her speeches would be pretty rousing to listen to if we were allowed to hold outdoor rallies. Unfortunately, we can't do that due to the coronavirus pandemic. The Workers' Party is also heading back into Marine Parade GRC. They're fielding an amputee, Azhar Latif. We've had 2 paraplegic NMPs, Chia Yong Yong and Yip Pin Siu. Now we have an amputee who is gunning for a seat as an elected representative. The PAP has never fielded disabled people in their own ranks, although they have allowed disabled nominated MPs. I hope Mr. Azhar can shine in his debut. The Singapore Democratic Party has lost John Tan, one of their high-ranking members. Mr. Tan was falsely convicted of contempt of court when he said that Jolovan Wong just proved his point when the latter was prosecuted for saying that the Malaysian judiciary is more independent than the one in his own country. Any kid would know that John has no case to answer to. An Antifa-aligned jury would have acquitted him on the spot. It would never have convicted him at all. Benjamin Pui looks to be filling Mr. Tan's spot. In Holland Bukit Timah, Tan Jee Se returns to the old team which he was part of in 2011. He later resigned from the party to contest the subsequent presidential election held a few months later set up his own party called Singaporeans First, and he contested in 2015 under that banner. Singaporeans First has recently been dissolved, and Tan Jee Se has been welcomed back into SDP. Tan Jee Se, in a way, is like Malaysia's Tengku Razali Hamzah. Khoo Lee used to be an UMNO member, but he resigned due to a disagreement, and he set up his own party called Semangat 46, which was a junior partner with PAS in a coalition government in Kelantan until the party's dissolution in 1999. And Khoo Lee rejoined UMNO, the same way that Tan Jee Se has rejoined SDP on nomination day, which was yesterday. In Yuhua, there's no more woman-on-woman combat. The most promising woman candidate of SDP, Min Cheong, will be in Holland Bukit Timah. Instead, Mr. Robin Lau will be facing against Grace Fu of the PAP. Grace Fu was given the nickname Disgraceful when she said that the ministers deserve their high salaries. Even though average Singaporeans are struggling just to get by, to put food on the table or to pay their mortgages. And Chee Soon Juan returns for round 2 against Murali in Bukit Batok. Murali has come under fire for this fatal house fire in one of the apartment blocks in his ward, where the fire hose wheels were allegedly locked to prevent vandalism, and rescue services couldn't access them. They are also putting Paul Thambaya, the recently elected president of the International Society for Infectious Diseases, in Bukit Panjang. Dr. Paul had previously contested in Holland Bukit Timah along with Chee Soon Juan in 2015. Dr. Paul should have been allowed to sit as a special advisor on the Ministerial Committee into COVID-19, given his background as an infectious diseases specialist. Unfortunately, the PAP's hubris wouldn't allow them to put an opposition activist in their ministerial committee, instead relying on their own inept MPs to run the show, much to the detriment of Singaporeans. The Progress Singapore Party was set up by Dr. Tan Cheng Bock as an attempt to create history as Singapore's Mahathir. Dr. Tan used to be the member for Ayer Rajah, now part of West Coast GRC. He was the top performing PAP MP in the past, and many people living in the West Coast area still have fond memories of him. Dr. Tan is returning to stand in West Coast GRC despite his advanced age, 80 years old. This is what we Chinese people say, 重出江湖. Dr. Tan may be old, but his passion to serve Singaporeans hasn't died out. he deserves to be re-elected back in Parliament in his old seat. Besides West Coast GRC, the PSP is also eyeing Choa Chu Kang GRC. They're also in Hong Kah SMC, held by Amy Khor. And this promises to be another exciting contest, another girl-on-girl action, which Yu Hua used to provide. Tanjong Pagar GRC, once helmed by Lee Kuan Yew himself, is also contested by PSP. The PSP believes that the current PAP ministers have lost their way and they no longer have it in them to serve Singaporeans. Thus, they are taking the fight directly to the PAP by contesting the ward once held by strongman Lee Kuan Yew. Currently, Tanjong Pagar GRC is led by Minister Chan Chun Sing, best known for saying that cotton comes from sheep. As you all know, cotton comes from trees and wool comes from sheep. Marymount SMC will be contested by PSP's Dr. Ang Yong Guan, a former military doctor and a psychologist by training. Dr. Ang is a 3-time veteran, having contested in previous elections, albeit under different parties. He'll be facing another military person, General Gan Xiao Huang. General Gan is what we consider fresh meat. PAP seldom put out fresh meat in single combat, preferring instead to parachute them into the GRC under the minister's tailcoats. There's no reason why Dr. Ang cannot defeat General Gan. And Yishun will be seeing Brett Bowyer, a former British citizen, contesting for PSP. Brett Bowyer used to be a PAP grassroots member. He must have got sick and tired of them, and he decided to leave, first for NSP and then for PV. But it's in PSP where he found his calling. And I wish him all the best in Yishun. In Yio Chu Kang and Kebun Baru, which are close to Yishun, will also be contested by the same party, as well as Pioneer SMC, bringing a total of 24 candidates to the fledgling party. PSP is to PAP what Bersatu is to UMNO. Even if Dr. Tan doesn't pull off a successful Mahathir Act, he can still play a major role as a kingmaker in Pritam Singh's future government. Last but not least, PV, founded by former NSP Secretary General and lawyer Lim Tian. Lim Tian has set his sights on Jalan Besar GRC, where he'll be facing against Josephine Teo, known for sex in small spaces. Josephine might consider a second career as a porn star if she loses her seat. The Manpower Minister refused to apologize to foreign workers over the COVID-19 pandemic affecting them badly, because none of them asked for an apology. The People's Voice is also going to Mountbatten, previously contested by the Singapore People's Party when Jeanette Chong Aruldos was still a member. They are also embroiled in a three-corner fight in Pasir Ris Punggol with Desmond Lim's Singapore Democratic Alliance. Now, Desmond Lim is going to lose his deposit, and so are his teammates. They are going to be so badly humiliated that the only way for them to exit the scene honorably is to jump in the sea and drown themselves. Desmond Lim tried to spoil the party in Punggol East in 2011 and 2013. And he paid dearly, losing his deposit twice. If we had preferential votes in Singapore, I would say the People's Voice gets my first preference, followed by PAP and then the SDA. Now, WP, SDP, PSP and PV all deserve to win their seats. They've got the most passionate candidates, all of whom, joined politics with the intention of making Singapore great again. Please give them their support. Be patriotic. Vote PAP out. This is your only chance. Don't screw it up. Goodbye.